And we are live, No Chill Live, episode 122, OVO, October, Libra season.
Hey.
We back.
Tail end of Libra season. We're still here. We're still here celebrating the balance.
Yeah, man, I know, we have one episode before your birthday, but, happy belated birthday to you, Bryan.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Listen, man, another year of life is something that you can only celebrate. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, we got Julian here. We got Bryan. We got Troy.
That's right.
The boys are back.
Back in the New York groove.
The boys are back in town. I wanted to play something. I was trying to think of something like spooky, because it's like Halloween time. But I'm just on some Tyler Pigs Fly mellow vibes.
Okay. I like it.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all of our new subscribers. I know it's been a few weeks.
That's right.
Since we've been live.
Make sure y'all continue to follow, subscribe, share. We're on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, anywhere that you catch your live content. Don't forget the podcast version as well. Spotify, Google Podcasts, which is moving to YouTube Music.
Yes, sir. We are everywhere. Yeah, man. So much has happened in the past few weeks. Like within the world, I know you traveled the world.
That's right.
You were away in Cartagena, Colombia,
South America for the first time.
Ooh,
and definitely not the last. I enjoyed myself. I did enjoy myself. That sun was strong, muy fuerte for all my Spanish listeners out there. But it was definitely a really nice time. The one thing I will say though is everybody that walks the streets in Cartagena should sign up for like some sort of sales job where they can work international for a U.S. company from home, because you guys are fucking resilient. They will not stop. I mean, once they come and talk to you one time, it's like, I'm coming back every 30 to 45 minutes just to check up, see how you're doing. Remember your name and everything. Like they are nonstop.
bro. When I went to Cartagena earlier this year, they were like totally harassing me. Like literally, they'll come up to you, the street performers. They'll rap to you a whole freestyle you did not ask for, and then they'll pull out their hat and be like, "Oh, where's the money?"
I haven't said no gracias more times in my entire life, and I took like years of Spanish in high school and college. I have not said no gracias more times than I did in that 6 days. Like it was. Shout out to them. I've been to other countries where they do that, where they want to, try to sell you cervezas, sell you coke, weed, sell you whatever they got on hand. But this one takes the cake.
Yeah,
it definitely does.
I'm sure, man. You got to celebrate your birthday. Do it right. I know last year we were in Europe. Year before Cancun. This year, South America. So you all over the globe, man.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it again, though. I would definitely go to some other cities in Colombia. I want to go to some other countries in South America just to see the difference in the culture. It was really cool, though. Definitely some nuances. My lady, she's Dominican, and even her, she really liked how everybody, after you ask them for something and they're going to do it, they respond with con gusto.
Oof. I like that too.
With pleasure.
I didn't even know what that meant, and it sounded sexy. So.
Yeah, it's really nice. But the people are super friendly. They just, are borderline stalkers.
Oh man, I'm glad you enjoyed your birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
We enjoyed our time off. We back, yo. We're gonna be back live for like the next 6 weeks. Barring any illness,
unforeseen circumstances. Oh man, that's the worst. I gotta tell you, I'm operating at like 82% right now, and I'm gonna push through for y'all though.
Hell yes.
I'm really excited to talk about some of these crazy topics. I mean, I took a plane and landed, and suddenly there was another war across the ocean.
Yeah, man, it's insane, yo.
Sad stuff. Really sad stuff.
Super sad stuff, man. Yeah, man. The war in Gaza, you know, the Hamas attack in Israel set off a whole chain of events. And now the president of the United States is currently in Israel today.
Yeah, he is. He is shucking and jiving for our allies.
Is that what you call it?
That is what I call it. But listen, I don't want to get too political. I'm just going to first start off by saying that love, peace, pursuit of happiness to both the Israeli nation and the Palestinian nation. Sad to see.
Yeah, Libra, both sides.
Yeah.
But hey, both sides have experienced death and loss. So thoughts and prayers out to people at war. War is a terrible thing, and with so much misinformation out there. I mean, even the president, had said some misinformation early on.
It's nasty. It's really nasty. I mean,
it is nasty, man. It's terrible. It's terrible stuff, and that's why I feel like it's all horrible. It's a shame that a ceasefire isn't really an option at the moment. Hopefully they do find peace. I feel like this has been obviously something that's been going on for a long, long time. Yeah. And it kind of finally hit a head. So it came to a head. So, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there, people who have family out there, people out in the streets protesting on both sides of things. Like, man, this is the consequences of this, when you consider what's going on in Ukraine. Putin is actually, I think he's in China right now. It's just like, I don't know.
Two wars not that far from each other. And both sides have relations with, other parts that are at war. With Russia, I mean, they've supported Muslim nations for a long time. The U.S. has always been on the side of Israel, regardless of what they do in terms of human rights violations and things. And it's just it's a really nasty situation. I mean, 1,300 people, Israelis, got killed on the day of that attack, and then within 3-4 days after that, they had killed 3 times that in Palestine. That's And not to mention what they've been doing for the last 20 years with the encroaching on their land, settling in their land, killing their people. It's just,
it's a bad situation.
A lot of nastiness.
Yeah, I just thought Jared Kushner was supposed to solve this whole problem years ago, but somehow he was able to leave with $2 billion from Saudi Arabia, and now he's good.
Listen, we need a Senate hearing. Not that it'll do anything, but we need one.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. Trump, he's fighting one of his cases currently in New York, man. One of his federal cases, which is him and his sons are being sued, for fraud. They're saying, there's a years-long pattern of business fraud. And actually, the judge put a gag order on Trump because he was talking too much shit.
Where was he talking shit at? Was that in the courtroom?
Yeah, he was in the courtroom,
God.
talking about the judge, saying he's a Democrat and he's out, so witch hunt. That's his whole story for all these open cases. I can't keep up with all the Trump cases, but, he seems to be still ahead in the polls, still dodging the Republican debates. And I just saw a Fox News poll that said him and Biden are neck and neck. What does that tell you?
Man, we're essentially a year and a month away from the election. It's getting to crunch time. With this fraud allegation, I think that the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, she's seeking $250 million in damages, and she wants to permanently bar Trump and any of his associates from ever doing business in New York.
Oh, shit.
That's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal.
Is it if he becomes the president again? Because I feel like that's what he's banking on with all these cases. If I'm in power again, I can do what I want. I mean, Netanyahu pretty much did the same thing in Israel.
Yeah, he's been doing it for what? Netanyahu's been in power for he. I gotta be careful with what I say. He is no, I won't do it. He's been in power for over 16 years. It's like 4 U.S. presidential terms.
I mean, he was in and out, right? Because there was a time period where he wasn't.
Yeah, so. He was. He did like an initial bid of 8 to 10, and then let somebody else take over while he puppeteered.
Well, he was fighting some charges too, but you know, those got swept under the rug. But the same thing, I guess, could happen here. I mean, with a lot of people being split between, you know, our support of Ukraine and our support of Israel. Yeah, I feel like Biden, he's trying to I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, he's in Israel right now trying to show his support, but I don't know how this will impact the voters. Us in conflict again.
I just want to know, at what point is it wrong for Christians and Jews to have human rights violations? Because we always say it's wrong when it's Muslims. We immediately call out that it's a terrorist attack. But the second that it's somebody of a different religious background, it's like they have a right to protect themselves, even though they've been stealing their land and killing them for the last, 80 years. It's just, I don't know. And I'm not trying to take sides. Like I'm saying, I think that they should stop fighting and figure out a real agreement. Because even when they drew up the lines for how they were going to set up the West Bank and Gaza and the Israeli territories, it was fucked up. There was bound to be conflict. And the British were like, yeah, we don't want to do anything with the Jews, so y'all go back over there. Here's their land, because we own Palestine anyway, so we'll give it to you. And here we are.
Here we are in 2023. You know, maybe Joe Biden is the right guy for the job, because I heard he was there during the first Crusades back in the day.
He was with the conquistadors.
He has the experience. He's been on this planet for fucking thousands of years, apparently. I don't know. But hey, man, thoughts and prayers to everybody who's affected by this. It's just depressing, though. 100%.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Do you think that he's ever going to, that Donald Trump is ever going to do the Republican debates? Or you think he's going to end up skipping them all? Because the primaries start soon, right? People went to Iowa caucus or whatever. Is that
isn't
next
it
year?
The spring? I think spring of next year, because they're the very first one, obviously, and I think it's in April. Troy, do you know when that is? Iowa caucus?
No, I'm not sure.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm curious to know. I mean,
oh shit, January 15th.
Oh damn!
Wow, that's 3 months from now.
Yeah, right after 9 days after the national holiday of January 6th. So.
Oh my god. Oh man.
2024 is gonna be a fucking mess, yo. But hey, make sure you guys subscribe to No Chill Live. We will be here every week discussing
we got your content.
all of this shit, yo.
And we got your content. We do not stray away from any topic.
No. We don't stray away from any topic. You can call us Jada Pinkett Smith, because she don't care. Yeah, she's a gangster.
I like how you did that.
Oh my god, I was so happy.
You were happy?
I was so happy that Jada decided to drop a book, because a few weeks ago when we last went live, we had no idea she was about to drop a book. We had no idea. We did. But we did an extensive deep dive into her, Instagram post with Tupac, and talked about her and Will. Their birthdays had just passed, and I'm like, wow, we were able to stay relevant throughout the break, because this bitch is relentless.
She don't quit. And apparently neither does Will. He refuses to do anything other than be her life partner, support her as she puts out this book defaming his character and calling him all types of bitches. Shame. It's just
shame.
She got more respect for a man that she was with 30 years ago than she does for her husband, who she's still married to, regardless of whether or not now they're saying they're separated. I don't know why we're just now hearing that they're separated after that whole debacle of entanglement and all this other stuff. We got Will up there acting his ass off with the red face, looking like he got stung from fucking Hitch again. And I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know if Will was acting that they, I don't know what to believe, but they both are actors. He's just way more successful as an actor, but hey, we've been talking about them for years. And we were talking about Will dropping his book before the slap, and the things that he was revealing that we found to be a little bit TMI. Like
he didn't go hard enough though. He didn't go hard enough apparently. He just didn't. He failed the contest because he went first and she had a chance to see everything that he did, and she was like, hold my beer. Like,
for real, because her book is called Worthy.
Yeah.
And she's been on an entire press run the last week.
Crazy run.
It started off with her, I think she was being interviewed by Hoda Kotb from the Today Show on ABC.
Yeah.
And the big headline was, me and Will Smith have been separated since 2016, the last 7 years.
And they're not going to get a divorce either. Cheaper to keep her.
You say it's cheaper to keep her because it's also reported that they don't have a prenup. He's worth probably close to $1 billion. I'm not sure about her worth outside of this marriage. I mean, we know the Red Table got totally canceled.
Yeah. Everything on Facebook though. I don't want to just single out her show, but yes. Yeah.
But I'm not sure what projects she has out there. I mean, Girls Trip was good, but shit, that was like 5 years ago at this point. And most of the only time we talk about her is when she's shit talking her husband or life partner.
Her best work is from when she was fucking with Tupac.
Oh shit,
that's her best work. He brought out the best in her, and maybe that's why she's still talking about him. She wants him to come back so bad to save her career, but it won't happen. It just won't happen. What else was she in? She was in one of the Magic Mics. She was in
one of them.
She did some voiceovers for Madagascar and shit like that.
Oh my god. What was she? The cheetah?
I don't. Oh damn. Probably. I don't know which one she was. Maybe she was the hippo.
Man, I don't know, but she's been telling us way too much information nobody asked for. But hey, she's promoting her book. But yeah, she said when Will Smith went off on Chris Rock at the Oscars and said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. She was just I was confused because we hadn't called each other husband and wife in years.
That's crazy. I can understand if that's true, but you don't have to say that. You don't have to. This is a man, again, that you're married to. Every single time she has some shit going on, he comes and stands right by her side. The dutiful husband. Got the kids there, cheering her on with her mom over her book Worthy, and dropping statements and stuff saying, oh my goodness, I learned so much. I wasn't aware of the emotional blindness that had happened after spending more than half of my life with this woman. This man is a poet. He needs to start writing again, but not a biography. We don't want to hear that shit again. Write something else.
Write some bars, man. We want that Jada diss track, Will. That'll solve all of our problems. All will be forgiven if he just releases a diss track against his wife.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. I would love that. I think it'll win back the hearts of many.
Dog, she said so many things.
I know we could do a whole episode on everything she said.
She went back to the fact that Pac was her first love, but her and Will didn't have any chemistry. She went back to talk about how she sold crack, which is brand new information. I did not know that she was on the fucking wire. If she was on the wire, we wouldn't talk so bad about her career. I think that one light-skinned dude, the little bald kid that was always getting in trouble and beat up and stuff, I think that was her character, that he was playing her.
Oh shit, oh my god.
Yeah,
who knows? I mean, she's a thug, I posted that clip, the quote of her saying she sold crack in Baltimore, and she was like, oh, if I can't have Pac, I'll be Pac. She's bald too. She's trying to be like her soulmate. She said Tupac proposed to her and he was her soulmate, but she said they didn't really have chemistry.
Yeah.
She also said that when Chris Rock made that joke at the Oscars about her being in G.I. Jane 2. She addressed her rolling her eyes, and she said, she didn't roll her eyes, because she had anything personal against the joke. She said she rolled her eyes because she was thinking of everyone else who suffers from alopecia and, how the joke could potentially hurt them. So she's really a hero.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. She was bald way before. She'd been cutting her hair off for mad long. Listen, the first time I ever cut my hair low, that was the beginning of the end for me, too. Listen, Jada, if you would have asked me, I would have told you.
And she's doing this interview with a fucking full head of hair now. Like, she has hair again.
That should look clean. It looks clean.
Is this just like a case of pretty privilege gone too far? Because you could really make a case that this bitch is crazy.
She is a toxic queen. Like, she is putting on a master's level course for all the nasty women out there that do this to men, because they exist. They do exist. And y'all, listen, thank God I'm tied up, but and I thank God that they stayed far away from me, because jeez, it's nuts.
Yeah, they said this was the one bullet that Tupac dodged. I thought that was wrong.
No. I didn't see that, but that's fucking great.
That's
that
terrible.
in 50 when he posted the picture of Pac and Suge, and her head is just like, she was putting in work. She was putting in work.
Yeah, she's, I don't know, man. You mentioned Will being like extra supportive and him putting out the statement of being, I don't know, emotionally blind.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about this, earlier this week, you were like, maybe she's trying to maybe he did something, maybe there's more to the story.
Maybe he did something. Maybe she's really the one asking for help. Maybe she wants to get out of the relationship, and he's like, no, I'm never letting you leave me. I'm not signing any papers. Don't even try that shit. We can stay together. You can live off my fortune, and we'll be happy in our separate lives. No. I don't know. She just has clearly no respect for him.
Yeah.
And, he said a variety of different things in interviews before about their relationship and how, they have their own separate lives, and, he's going to support her no matter what. But I don't know how you continue to support somebody that's just shitting on you publicly like this.
I mean, he loves her. This is the love of his life. That he says that they're life partners. They've been lying. Like, she put up that red table years ago just to lie. In everyone's face about them being together. Yeah. Like, because she's like, oh, now I'm going to tell the world that we've been separated. But clearly, they've been acting like they've been together. Exactly. And just having these loose.
They attend everything together.
Yeah.
Like, any type of public appearances. Sometimes they're by themselves, but a good amount of, I would say, is 50-50. They're either by themselves, or they're together, or they're with the family.
Yeah.
And, nobody had any issues while they had all these rumors about them having an open relationship. Do what you want to do behind closed doors. Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, we'll talk about you a little bit, but you put your whole shit on Front Street now.
Yeah.
Also, you could sell a book. I want to see what it does. I want to see the numbers.
Yeah, she's done so many interviews on so many platforms. It's like
on
new
fucking
clips.
Any platform. Like, she doing interviews with people I never even heard of before. Like, never even seen before. People that look like they're recording in their basement. Like, It's crazy. Jada, stop playing with us. Listen, you can come up here in person. All right? Send us a DM. Get your PR person to hook it up. Shit, get Will to hook it up, since he's your bitch boy. I don't know, but do something. All right, we want to have you up here to talk with us.
Oh my God, yes, Jada, please come to this platform. We would love to have you on.
Yeah.
We have the tough questions, but I want to know about the crack dealing. I want to know about that too.
Your mom said, if you have to say you're worthy, are you really worthy?
Oof. I don't know. I think Jada has a lot of problems, and even in the interview with Hoda Kotb, Hoda says I don't know. She's like, oh, you're straightforward sometimes, and you're not straightforward other times, and Jada's just like, yes. So it's just like the dumbest conversation ever. But they say, his family actually Will Smith's kids actually feel bad for him, sources are coming out to say, they're like, they know he's been going through a lot lately, and this isn't helping. They wish some of their family's private matters remain private. They say Will's trying to stay busy by hanging out with his good friends and kids. He's not trying to let any outside noise impact him. Will loves Jada and feels like he's always had her back and always will. He's been trying to be supportive while also taking care of himself. I don't know, man. I know you look at Will Smith a little bit differently than you did like a few years ago.
Of course.
Before,
how can you not? How can you not? After he's been dragged through the mud for 6 years.
Do you think that they don't have a prenup? I feel like she obviously has a lot of resentment towards him, maybe because he's so much more famous than her. Maybe some shit did go down before. Maybe she just, she's clearly said that she's in love with Tupac. She actually said, Will and Tupac, they would be friends. Like, how would you feel if your wife said, me and my ex who's dead, who I've been talking about for years, y'all would have been cool? Like, would that make you feel better about the situation? Or do you think Will has a problem listening to Tupac music? Or you think he just accepts her as she is? I don't even know.
I don't know, man. I wonder. Will allows a lot, clearly. He knew that she was fucking with August.
Yeah.
He was 20 years younger than her kid's friend. Granted, he's a man. She was a woman. They entangled. But I think that Will, he's going to let her do what she wants.
Yeah. Troy, were you a Will Smith fan, and did this change how you looked at him a little bit?
I was a big Will Smith fan. I loved Independence Day, I Am Legend, a lot of his movies. He has a lot of classics for sure.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness. That's a good one
7
too.
Pounds.
Yeah. He's the man. I think it does. I think I just feel bad for him too. Like his kids. I feel like damn. All this stuff. If it happens, keep it behind doors. I don't want to know about it. And it's everywhere. You can't escape it. So It's unfortunate because it does affect the way I kind of see him. I'm like damn. He's going through it, and I just feel bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if he says to her like he did in the Fresh Prince show, why don't you love me, man? Why don't you love me? I wonder if he really be talking to her like that.
Man, it looked like that at the Red Table episode. It looked like he just got done saying that. It has to be exhausting. To be one of the biggest actors in the world. This man started as a rapper in Philly. He didn't have anything, Then he was on TV. Then he was in the movies. He's the first rapper to make it big and win an Oscar and be taken seriously.
Made it he's still arguably the biggest rapper. To make it to that level.
Yeah, for sure. And then just to be by your own wife. But hey, she also said, as if she didn't say enough, she had mentioned, when I guess the divorce rumors came out, that she was like, Chris Rock, actually, he tried to date me.
He was shooting. They shooting. I made you look.
Who had something to say about this? Our boy, Umar. Oh shit. Dr. Umar Johnson. He had a response.
Now you turning around telling the world that Chris Rock wanted to clap your flat ass cheeks. First of all, Jada,
damn.
No disrespect, because you're a beautiful woman in the face. But you ain't got no body. You ain't 5'5", thick in the thighs by no stretch of any man's imagination. Now, if Chris Rock told you he wanted to clap your cheeks as a get back at, and Chris Rock, you was out of line for doing that, but I can understand Will Smith embarrassed you, so you want to get him back by clapping his wife's cheeks. I understand. But Jada,
it doesn't matter.
What did you do in response to Chris Rock asking to clap your cheeks? Why did Chris Rock feel so comfortable to ask you if he could clap your cheeks? See, when a woman comes to you, black fellas, I hope my brothers is listening to me. I hope all my African alpha males, I want all of my anti-snow bunny, unapologetically African alpha males, I want you to check into your big brother Notorious RBG one time. If your woman ever come home saying that a man solicited sex from her, in a very private manner, not vulgar, not boisterous, not out loud, not disrespectful. If a man pulled your woman to the side and solicited sex from your woman, you got to be a little suspicious.
Dr. Umar spinning right now.
Yeah. He said you got to be a little suspicious.
Well, I mean, they don't have to be suspicious, though. They have an open relationship.
They don't have a relationship.
They have a business transaction.
100%. When she was like, I was confused. Whose wife is he talking about?
That's crazy. That's insane to say.
Shout out to them, man. They gave us a lot of content over the years. And
I don't even wish for peace for them. I just wish for peace for us. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Get that book the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's not fun. You know, someone else who's dropping a book soon, man. Your sister.
Okay, not my sister.
Britney Spears.
Listen, she shares a last name, and that's about it.
It's your family, man. Britney Spears is dropping her book called The Woman in Me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's some bombs being dropped. You know, before any headlines came out about this book, there were reports that Justin Timberlake was nervous. Mm-hmm. He was nervous about what Britney Spears was going to write in this book. And just days later, it came out that Britney is writing about the abortion that she had with Justin Timberlake. And she said she had an abortion mainly, you know, because they both weren't ready, you know, to be parents, and he wasn't ready to be a father. But I don't think he really wanted this information out there, man, especially the way things look now. Like, you know, imagine seeing your crazy ex dancing with knives on Instagram. Now she want to put all your business out there when you're happily married. You know, he got into some hot water a couple years ago, you know, with one of his castmates on a movie set with, you know, some bad things. So, you know, he's a squeaky clean type of guy.
Tries to be.
Yeah. What do you make of this, man? I mean, and will you be reading Britney Spears' book?
Please. Never in a million years. But listen, this is clearly the thing right now. You come out with a book, you drop a few salacious topics and get people to have excitement about it, and then, you know, hopefully boost your numbers. But she's talking about a relationship for 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, all right, great. It's something that happened. It happens to a lot of people. And at the end of the day, she's the one that decided to get the abortion too.
Yeah.
Like, all right. She said, if it had been left up to me alone, I never would have done it. And yet Justin was so sure he didn't want to be a father. He didn't want to be a father with you. Like, let's be real. Okay.
I mean, it was early in their careers, and he didn't have kids to my knowledge until he ended up married. So, you know, could be the truth. I mean, honestly, if you got Britney Spears pregnant, or if I got Britney Spears pregnant, I think we'd have the same reaction, seeing how she's not even allowed around her children at this point in her life.
And her kids are grown, like 18 and 17 years old.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, when you have kids with Kevin Federline and the courts say they're safer with him, I think Justin Timberlake made the right choice, because they obviously did not stay together. Hey, man, shout out to Britney Spears. She's free. She's living her best life, you know, dancing around the house with knives, scaring her dogs. Yeah, man, I'm surprised that she wrote this book now that she's divorced.
It's still in process, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while for the money grab. Like, it don't happen overnight.
I think the book is dropping soon, like within weeks. They have the cover and everything. She wrote this book entirely in crayon.
You wild. She wrote it on the walls of her house. And
oh my God. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, I'd be a little bit upset if I'm Justin Timberlake, but hey, it is what it is. It's all in the past, man.
Dog, she's clearly crazy. She also said that she's so glad she didn't land the Notebook role with Ryan Gosling. I'm sorry, but that's a huge movie that everyone has watched at least one time. It would have been great for her career. To say that you're glad you didn't do that, kind of crazy.
Why is that crazy? I actually 100% agree with her because that movie would have been terrible with Britney Spears in it. So thank you, Britney, for saying no. Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
That's actually a good movie. Like if she was in it, it would be terrible.
Her team did a really good job early in her career, and then I guess it just didn't work anymore.
I'm not even gonna say that because she was shaving her head, when she was only in her 20s.
That was the end.
The end. How old was she? Like 25 at that point?
Yeah, something like that.
That's what happens when you're a teen star. Not everyone ends up like Usher or Rihanna. Some people, You know what I read today, man?
What?
Your boy Jussie Smollett, man, he's going to rehab. They said, man, it's been a really exhausting last few years for him.
I'm sure.
I haven't heard anything from him until I saw this headline, so I thought it was a little bit weird because it's just like, if you go to rehab, why does anyone have to know? Like, it's not like anyone was checking for him.
He's looking for grace. That's what it is. I mean, he's still in a legal situation, isn't he?
I don't know. I thought that shit was over. The Obamas saved him from that. I thought, but
no, it says it's still going. It says he was sentenced to 150 days in jail and given 30 months of felony probation after being found guilty. He was also ordered to pay $120,000 and fined $25,000. And then he was released on bond 6 days after he first went to jail. But they're trying to get other charges dismissed still.
Damn, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to rehab, so thoughts and prayers to him.
Mm-hmm.
Will you ever forgive him for what he did? I mean, he's still sticking to his story.
I could not care less. He ruined his whole career. Ruined his whole career. Put a smear on his family's name. His sister, she had a great career that was budding. And now look what he did.
Hopefully rehab helps you, Jussie. I'm not sure what you in rehab for. Do they have rehab for lying? I don't know.
I don't want to go to rehab. I said no.
That's almost the words. That sounded good though. Thanks. You got a lot of feedback from that Beyonce clip again. So
yeah,
shout out to you.
People love Beyonce. I love Beyonce.
Yeah, man. Being a celebrity is tough. Like I sent this article of Jason Momoa, being drunk on the set of Aquaman 2. But I didn't realize until I read it today that this came from Amber Heard's therapy sessions from court. How can you even have access to that, man? Like, how is that okay?
Money makes anything happen.
Because weren't these court documents, right? But they came from the notes from her therapist. Some Johnny Depp fans dug this up, and she was complaining to her therapist that Jason Momoa would show up drunk on set, and she thought he was purposely dressing like Johnny Depp because he was wearing rings or something. Or she's gonna have PTSD from him. It was just a weird headline, but when I dug deeper on the context of it, I was like, how do people have access to this fucking court documentation?
Well, I think the problem is that once it goes to court, it becomes a matter of public record. Now, they can have the record sealed, but I guess you can pay to get them unsealed, and that's what happened.
People are losers, so whoever dug that up, you're a loser for real. But hey, shout out to them. People have their stands. Before you left on your trip, another clip that did pretty well was us anticipating Drake's new album.
The anticipation, the lead up, the excitement.
OVO October, Drake, his first studio album since Certified Lover Boy, 2 years
CLB.
ago. This was for
Crazy
all the
that
dogs.
was 2 years ago right now.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I know. For all the dogs, man. We talked about the singles leading up to this.
We did.
And we talked about how we weren't really fans.
We were disappointed. We were disappointed. And unfortunately, that continued.
Yeah, you were, still hopeful. You were doubtful that the album would drop. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
But you were actually hopeful that the album, actually you're pretty confident that the album would sound better than the mid singles that he released.
Yeah.
I was pretty doubtful because I didn't really like Certified Lover Boy or Scorpion or Views. Like, I liked some of the projects in between, but whenever Drake puts out like a full rap album, I haven't been a fan for a long time.
Hasn't been hitting. No. And the case is that it seems like Drake maybe can't do it anymore. Like, he can't come up with rap songs that are appealing to either the masses or people that are in their 30s, or the content is not there. It's not working.
I mean, you listened to it, right? You said it dropped right before your trip.
Dude, I wasted the whole hour-long ride to JFK listening to this album, and the whole time me and Nat are just sitting there like, no. Okay, this one's all right. No. Like, just upset, and a lot of corny lines. Like, and Nat is the queen of corny. She loves the little corny jokes, the knee slappers. But it was not good.
Damn, he ruined your car ride up to JFK, man. You feeling like, damn, I'm in the car ride. I need to be like JFK.
6 a.m. in the morning. I'm listening to it, hoping it's gonna get me amped up and everything, and it just did the opposite. Yeah.
Sorry. Drake let you down. I think he let down a lot of people. Personally, I listened to the album like 3 times since it dropped. Like 2.5 times the first day, and I think in the weekend I tried again. But I was like, okay, it's not bad, it's not great, but more or less, way more skips than anything I would go back to. I will say, I really like First Person Shooter with J. Cole, which J. Cole got his first #1 single.
Congrats to Cole. He's deserved it for a long time, and of course he did his usual assassin shit on that song.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he deserved that for a long time, because he's not known for a lot of hits. Like, I mean, we like his albums, but he's not the hit maker that Drake is. I mean, Drake even started getting his #1s like when he put out Scorpion, and his #1s aren't even our favorite songs of his.
True.
So I feel like Cole, I'm happy he has the accolades, but he don't do it for that. Drake does it for that, and I feel like that's where the music is lacking. And Cole, like you said, he came on that track like an assassin. He did his thing, and but hey, this was actually Drake's, I don't know how many #1s he had, but he tied Michael Jackson, man. How do you feel about that? I know you're a bit of an MJ fan, right? Like, how you feel about your boy Drake tying him?
I think it sucks. Because honestly, the only reason that Drake is tying him is because, like you just said, a lot of the songs that he's gotten #1s for, they're not even songs that a lot of us like. And I think it's just, he puts his name on something, and people that are his fans, people that are not his fans, people that just casually listen to music, they all run to it.
Streaming.
Yeah. And, that's fine. He's the most popular rapper, possibly one of the most popular artists in the world. But it's just skewing the numbers, for sure. Big time. The numbers do not equate to the quality of his music.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm a fan of Drake. I saw him live twice this year. Both great performances. He did a lot of his throwback stuff, which I really appreciated. But, not feeling this album. I will say the corny lines do get to me, and it's something I thought about. I feel like the more Drake raps and talks, the worse it is. Like, that's why I honestly Nevermind, because it's really simplified stuff. It's I feel like it's good in small doses, but once he starts talking too much shit, him taking shots at Rihanna, I feel like was just so unnecessary and petty, and he's been in super petty mode the last month. And I'm like, if you're rolling out a project, why are you focusing on so much on people's perception and people who I guess you would call haters. He would call haters. Like, we talked about him going after Charlemagne. And then he's going after Rihanna, who has never said anything publicly bad about him.
Yeah.
He started off by saying, I don't know why people think I'm so hung up on you. And then he spends the next 10 lines talking about how he doesn't care but like, it's like, if you don't care, why spend so much time addressing it? And then after the album comes out, Joe Budden from the Joe Budden podcast, he gave his honest review, and I didn't even think it was that bad.
It wasn't. I did listen to that episode, the one behind the paywall I missed, but they were really gracious. I think it was more so, in a way, pleading with Drake. Like, please, just take some time. We miss the old Drake. Like, this is mid. We love you. We care about you. We want you to do better. Like, it was the nicest review telling him that this project was not it that I think they could have done. They could have killed him.
Yeah.
They could have gone on there and roasted the shit out of him, and they didn't. And
they could have killed him like J. Cole killed him on that track.
Yeah. No, literally. And he had a whole paragraph to say about Joe Budden. He said that at Joe Budden, and this was on Instagram, you have failed at music.
Oof.
You left it behind to do what you were doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching, just remember you are watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success, a quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain you broke living check to check. I like the way he spelled check. And then the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty NYC jeans. That's disrespectful. NYC jeans, where that was a wave for a while. To screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you were the GOAT. He also offered some advice. He said, please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and you never hung up your jersey. Oh, we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. He Paul Pierced him. He said they don't love you like that.
Well, Draymond Greened him, I guess. Paul Pierce was the victim.
He was the victim. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you accomplished all you need to, it's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need me to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions.
Damn.
And then in peak Budden fashion, he just hit him with a one-liner. You'll grow up sooner or later. Father Time is undefeated.
Drake. I feel like if anyone's projecting their failures, it's Drake, because he knows he's been putting out weak ass music. Is what I had said when he was going after Charlemagne. Because if he really felt confident in this, I mean, even him like posting the picture on Instagram with the Michael Jackson glove, like celebrating him passing MJ, or him having more hits than the Beatles and getting the Beatles and himself tattooed on himself. Like, he's someone who has to constantly remind himself and other people how successful he is, because he's still trying to prove to the world that he's this guy, but it's really not him, in my opinion. I feel like I like it more when he's more simplified and sincere, doesn't have that pressure to get the approval, because that's why I like his projects when he's with 21 Savage, or if he's doing more house music, because I feel like he's not trying to live up to some idea of a super rap superstar. And I feel like it's really lame. I think he's been on a real lame tear the last few weeks. I mean, it's cool him being a dad now, and doing the song with his son Adonis, or his son Adonis song. That's a cool moment, but even that doesn't kind of make anyone forget about you being super bitter when you're supposed to be happy, especially you going after Rihanna and Rocky, who are a happy family now, when we all know Rocky was with your baby mom. I'm not sure if she was pregnant at the time, but maybe you should shut the fuck up.
Oh, a lot of nastiness. I will say, at some point, once he matures, as Joe was saying, he's going to have to revisit Push and have a serious conversation and thank that man. He's going to have to thank him for the fact that he was forced to be a real dad and take ownership of his son and be a part of his life and put him on album covers and have freestyles and all this other stuff. Like, Push did that.
Yeah, man. And speaking of Push, man, if Rocky did smash his baby mom when she was pregnant, then something was Push, and I don't want to say.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh my God, Troy, did you listen to the Drake album?
No, I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. After this review, I'm not really rushing out to do it.
That's fair.
You didn't hear the Cole song at least?
No, I heard that one, and I heard 8 a.m. in Charlotte, which I like both of those songs.
Both of those are good.
Those are good, but I mean,
that's pretty
I'm not
much
listening to 23 Drake songs for anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask for. I mean, the Charlotte song, it was okay, but like you said, I don't like too many Drake bars. Like he needs to edit himself a little bit better. Like, just overall, like, honestly, that's why, him talking shit about people who take their time with their music. Maybe you should fucking take your time, Drake. Take your fucking time next time.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't, I don't know. Maybe, he said he is taking time off from music because of his stomach problems. So, get healthy, man.
It would make me sick to my stomach if everybody was roasting my project too.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he's going to change. His team clearly thinks like this is great work that he's putting out. And at the end of the day, he's being rewarded. I think they said first week, 420,000 copies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's impressive still. I mean, especially in this climate. But we saw the single with SZA go #1 on Billboard and fall right off the next week. So a lot of this is hype in streaming games. And, I got multiple notifications from Spotify telling me, oh, Drake's album dropped. So the machine is behind him. And, he's putting in his work. But, I just wish that he would make better music. But at this point, he's given us enough. He's never been a guy with, the classic albums, but I will say I'm looking forward to Cole's next project, man. Someone who is taking his time with it, and he's been assassinating, multiple tracks popping up at multiple shows. He popped up at 50 Cent. We saw him. He was, popped up with Drake multiple times on tour. I just saw he was at Black's concert recently. Mm-hmm. So Cole, he's in a different phase, so I'm looking forward to hearing from him. And also A$AP Rocky. I wonder if he's going to respond. Do you think he should respond since, Drake was pretty much taking shots at him and his wife?
A$AP's been quiet for a long time. When was his last
album?
It's been a while.
2018, 5 years. Testing came out.
I would love to hear like a joint A$AP and Rihanna project. I feel like that shit would be fire.
Really? I don't think I would ever want to hear that. I love them both as artists, but I don't know. Them making music together, I'm not sure.
I think if they do it right, that shit could be crazy. But who knows what they're doing? I mean,
we know what they're doing. They're making babies back to back.
Making parents.
Oh, man. Another hip-hop father is working on something new, man. Kanye West.
Your boy.
Ye is
in the lab.
Yeah, man. Ye is cooking up a new album, rumored with Ty Dolla $ign, your boy. You mentioned Ty Dolla $ign a few times.
That's right.
Ty's been around a lot, like for the last decade at least. Mm-hmm. He's written for a lot of people, had his own independent, albums, and then also had a lot of features that we still listen to till this day. So I feel like I was surprised to hear that they were working together, but apparently they have an album. It's finished. They've been shopping it around to different labels to distribute it, and now they have a concert scheduled in Italy to perform October 27th, man.
Interesting. I think that's an interesting duo for sure. Yeah. Their styles are very different, but I feel like they could go well together. I always like Ty, so and Kanye is Kanye, so it's something I'm looking forward to for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, especially if it drops soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time we talked about Kanye in Italy, his pants were dropped, but we always love music from him. So I think it'll be great, you know. I'm not sure if he's like trying to replace Kid Cudi in a way with someone else who's melodic, because we love the Kids See Ghost project that dropped 5 years ago. But hey, I look forward to new music from Ye, so hopefully we hear something soon. You know, they're also the record labels are a little bit hesitant since everything that happened with Ye last year and how he, you know, Adidas and Gap cut ties with him. But I was also reading, man, Adidas, since they've been releasing Yeezys, it really helped them with their bottom line at over like $100 million in revenue this past quarter from Yeezys alone.
We might see another announcement coming in the next few quarters because they're still struggling.
It's insane to know the difference that he made. Like, that's crazy.
Dude, you know that Nike's market cap is like $150 billion and Adidas is like $30 billion.
Wow.
I didn't realize that they were that much bigger. It's crazy. And then the reason I know this is because I saw the announcement that Embiid might be getting a sneaker deal with Skechers.
Oh, shit. Wait. I'm a Knicks fan. You know, shout out to the Knicks. Season starts next week. And Julius Randle has a deal with Skechers.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Skechers making moves.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would never wear no fucking Skechers basketball shoes, but hey.
I wouldn't either. The first thing I said when I found out, I was like, well, season-ending injury on the way. Like,
don't even say that, man. That's fucked up.
It is. But listen, I think that could be huge. But Skechers' market cap is like $7 billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
much
different.
Smaller company.
Yeah, but you need, company. I mean, he got kicked out of the Skechers office last year.
Yeah.
He made Adidas a lot bigger in the short time he was there. I mean, we didn't give a fuck about Adidas personally, but yeah. Do you think people will be receptive to new music from Ye?
Of course. There's no question about it. I mean, when was the last time that he said some crazy shit? Like over a year and a half ago? Like, I remember at the time I said, give it 6 months, 9 months. People are going to be right back on the Ye bandwagon. People are going to be buying his shoes like they went crazy and I couldn't even get any freaking Yeezys. It's just...
It goes in cycles.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, he doesn't miss when he puts out products. So for his music, especially with Ty Dolla $ign, I'm sure it's going to slap. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Troy, would you be looking forward to this album?
I guess. I'm not big into Ty Dolla $ign like that. He does have some good features, but like I wouldn't really listen to his solo stuff. And he's been kind of missed and hit for me lately. I'll definitely check it out, and I hope it's good. But I'm not really excited for it.
Do you think people will be turned off from what happened last year? Or do you think people will be receptive to it?
I think a majority of people will be more receptive to it. I'm sure there'll be a few people who are turned off from Kanye stuff, but I think overall it'll be more receptive and probably be good.
Not to mention everybody's focused on hating Palestine right now, so how many people can you hate at once?
Bro, you gotta relax.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God, yeah, man. Kanye also made news yesterday when he texted Ian Connor to post a screenshot of a message to his boy and your favorite Elon Musk. Kanye, I guess he hasn't been able to talk to his buddy Elon, so he sent his boy Ian a screenshot of his text to Elon Musk, and I'll read it. It's Kanye fashion. The long ass texts with different spaces. Of course. Not as long as what Drake said to Joe Budden, but anyway, he goes to Elon. When are we going to speak? You owe me nothing. You never have to speak to me again. But if we do speak, the nature of the relationship has to change. He goes, I'm not bipolar. I have signs of autism from my car accident. You can't watch Kim keep my kids from me and not say anything publicly, then call yourself my friend so I can bring my audience to your struggling platform. Do you think Elon's gonna respond to this message, or do you think Kanye's gonna be left on red?
Kanye is going to be left on red at least for a little while. At least for a little while. Elon loves to be in the public spotlight too.
Yeah.
And we always see Kanye with his public statements the second that he has a project or some new fashion stuff or something is coming out. That's when he just walks right back onto the scene and starts messing shit up. So we'll see. He wasn't lying about one part. X is struggling.
Oh, really?
I just saw that they're about to roll out a $1 mandatory subscription.
Oh, shit.
For anyone that did not sign up for like the verified profiles.
Damn, that's crazy. You know, every time I hear X is struggling, I'm like, thank God, man. Always want your ex to struggle.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm just kidding, yo. No war in my life, but nah. I mean, all these companies are struggling. Like, you know, you just talked about Netflix raising their price, but you know, I feel like everyone's trying to find a way to be profitable. And I think having Ye on Twitter would, you know, bring more people to the platform. So he does have a point in saying that. And also, I did find it weird, you know, that he still like is pushing this narrative about Kim keeping the kids away from him, because that seems very unrelated to this message. But I guess since he wanted it to be publicized, that it was kind of strategically put in there. But it just seems like it's been a part of all of, you know, his statements. He's been very quiet, but it's reminiscent of what we talked about last year when he was going on rants. Did that part surprise you a bit, or was it just you know?
No, this is par for the course. I mean, I would assume that he's not going to let this go for a very long time. It's going to be a really long time. Luckily, you know, he won in terms of the Pete Davidson debacle. That was short-lived, which I think at the time we said it was going to last a few months and then be done.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see how this continues to develop. Just going back to the $1 stuff, they're testing it in 2 countries to start off, New Zealand and the Philippines.
That's interesting.
$1 yearly subscription.
Yearly, okay.
That's not bad. $1 for the whole year.
No.
But it starts at $1. Next thing you know, it's $4.99.
Yeah.
$7.99. Like, they just start creeping up. So, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's trying to find a way to be profitable. Yeah, but I do think it's, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they both love attention. I don't know how close they were to begin with. I thought, you know, Elon just likes to hang around rappers to feel cool because obviously he's a fucking nerd. But hey, Ye also says he's not bipolar and he has signs of autism from his car accident. You know, we all love Through the Wire, and, you know, that was when Ye had his jaw wired after his car wreck in Chicago years ago before his debut album, College Dropout. Do you think autism can come from car accidents? Is that how it works? Because I've never heard nothing like that in my life.
I mean, I'm sure that with, like, traumatic head injuries, something can happen to you, but I don't know if it's necessarily autism. I'm not a medical professional, but it's just like, dude, you've been telling us you're bipolar for the last 15 years. Now suddenly you're autistic. Like, stop playing with the mental health stuff.
It could just be his journey. I don't know. But hey, I don't know. I've never heard nothing like that. You know, thoughts and prayers. Definitely looking for more Ye music. Hopefully it's fire.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of, you know, head injuries and mental illness, you know, former NFL player Terrell Owens, he got hit by a car after a pickup game in Calabasas, a pickup basketball game, man. You know, he had been hooping in Calabasas, where he apparently got into an argument with someone else on the court. We all know T.O. is not known for getting along with his teammates.
He's not. And he loves to run his mouth.
They said following the game, the man who had been beefing with the NFL legend got into his car and drove the vehicle right into the wide receiver's knee.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The crazier part is they're like, thankfully, cops say Owens did not require medical attention. How? How? This man is 50 years old. He just got hit in the knee by a car, and he doesn't need to go to the hospital? He's fine?
I mean, we saw him doing sit-ups in his driveway. Maybe he's been prepping for this. I don't know, man. He's always been in great shape.
That's true.
But, you know, things escalating this far is insane, man. That man must have took a big L in the court. But hey, you know, when I heard that this happened in Calabasas, you know, I actually watched the Monday Night Football game in the LA Chargers and Dallas Cowboys on Monday night on ESPN. And, you know, Stephen A., he was in LA for that game. Do you think there's any correlation?
Stop. Stephen A. did not put out a hit, and I would be so surprised if they were arguing about it. I think T.O. was probably cooking him and talking a lot of shit. I think that's probably what happened. I mean, he played in the All-Star game for the NBA before. He's
celebrity.
Celebrity All-Star game. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
Like, he really is. And he still looks similar to the way he did when he was playing the game. So I'm sure he was just running his mouth. But it's not the first time he's been in these types of situations.
Yeah. I don't know if Stephen A. had anything to do with this, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not putting that on him. I'm not putting that on Stephen A.
Listen, man, he said, you know, like, don't fuck with me. He said he's told athletes that a bunch of times. So
yeah, he has.
I don't know, man. I think Stephen A. might have sent out the goons, just like, you know, Kenan Thompson sent out the goons for what's that guy's name? Chris Redd, who was dating his ex-wife, just mysteriously got bloodied outside of a comedy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
A couple years ago.
Yeah,
what happened? No one would ever think, but no. I don't know, man. Thoughts and prayers to T.O.
Yeah.
Hopefully him and Stephen A. could patch it up.
Doubtful.
Yeah, you know, it's hard. It's hard, man. You know, your boy, Dame Lillard, he preached loyalty for as long as we've known this man. Yeah,
for real. 10 years. 10 years, 10 toes down.
Yes.
But he ran out of toes.
Dame Lillard, man, he said, I'm done being loyal. I'm demanding a trade, man. He got freed. Now he's with the Greek Freak in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Contending for a championship finally.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the season. I will say Celtics look scary, but it's very early. It's preseason right now. But
we'll see if Porzingis can be healthy, and you know Drew Holiday's still a little bit older, and Jaylen Brown can't go to his left, and Jason Tatum's always going to be a monster, but sometimes he can disappear. But hey,
sometimes, yeah.
I'm a hater.
There's a whole lot of season that is going to have to happen before we get to the playoffs, but. Yeah, unfortunately, Dame is having his own sort of troubles right now between leaving and going to the Bucks, and unfortunately, him and his wife, they've been separated for a long time, and they're getting a divorce after just 2 years.
Yeah, man.
2 years of marriage.
Something Will and Jada maybe can learn from, you know? Actually moving forward with the divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Dame said now he can finally get the ring he really wants.
Listen, I support my guy. Whatever makes you happy, man. The crazy part is, though, they were together a long time. They were together for all of his Trailblazer years, and even prior to that when he was in college, and have 3 kids together. Beautiful looking family. And it's coming to an end.
Yeah, they were only married for like a year before they were separated. Now he's getting traded and, you know, moving across the country. But not, you know, I feel like it's a fresh start for him. I'm happy for him. But now that they're getting a divorce, you know, now the dirt's coming out, man. And, you know, Dame, he's really big on being, you know, loyal to his community, loyal to his family.
Yeah.
And, you know, he puts out the image of a family man, and now they're attacking it in the court documents. You know, his wife and her lawyers say that, you know, Dame chose when and how much he saw the children while the children lived with her full time in her house. She's saying, you know, when he was in town and not traveling for basketball, publicity, endorsements, or his music endeavors, which I'm on her side with those music endeavors. That's a waste of time. Come on, you should be with your kids.
You're hating. The last project was good. And the one before that. He's getting better.
She said he would pop over to visit for anywhere in between 30 minutes and an hour to play with the kids while she was there or a nanny was present. You know, she says she understands he is busy and has many commitments he must attend to. And she also understands that the brand, Damian Lillard, needs to continue with the image of a family man. Despite their separation for several months, she has continued to support that image to the public. This seems like a little bit of a threat. Like, you want to keep these endorsements, you want to keep this brand as a family man, you better pay up. I don't know. Is that what you got from this? Because that's kind of what I got.
I mean, that's what I got. And also, this is the way that divorce proceedings go. This is a man who's worth $500 million. I don't know. I would have to assume that they have some sort of prenup, but she's trying to get her bag and make sure that her kids are taken care of. And she's trying to say, oh, well, you already were basically operating like you had a visiting schedule and like a weekend schedule, so let's maintain that and give me my money. We'll see how this plays out. I'm really interested in the final result. Like I said, Jordan, he put on a clinic with his prenup the second time around. I hope Dame was prepared.
The only final result I'm looking forward to is the NBA Finals. That's the only thing I think Dame cares about. You know, if he wants to go pop up and, you know, do a quick photo op with his kids, they need to earn that money.
What? My thing is, like, he takes so many pictures and does so many things with the family. All right, I'm sorry I'm out here trying to make sure that there's a legacy for my kids, and 9 months out of the year I'm playing basketball. Like,
it was more than that, man. Studio time. You know, he's spent a lot of money, a lot of time.
Exactly.
I think
he's pursuing his passions.
Not being a father. I mean, come on. You want to have the family man.
I don't believe that he's not being a father.
I'm not saying.
I'm not going to believe it from her.
I'm not going to. The mom. I mean.
I'm not going to believe it from her when she's divorcing him or he's divorcing her, and she's trying to justify or get money or whatever the proceedings look like. Like, I'm not going to. That's her job to slander him so she can get more of whatever she's asking for.
I guess in a sense, you know. But he's the one who initiated the divorce, and also, like, I feel like, yeah, if he is putting that image out there and it's not really reality, you gotta pay up to keep that, to maintain that.
Dog,
in my opinion,
people that are getting divorced will say anything to get what they want. They're tired of being together. They are hurt. They are just emotionally damaged at that point in time. And they, like I said, they've been together for so long. They have these 3 kids that she's taking care of, and it's gonna happen. Remember when, speaking of Joe Budden earlier, remember him and Sin, their custody battle that was short-lived, and she was saying that he was jerking off his dog and stuff?
Oh my God, I tried to forget.
like there's crazy stuff that comes out in these court proceedings.
Why gotta bring that back up?
I'm just saying, like, they're going to say what they want to say, and suddenly they were no longer having custody battles, and they sorted it out after those documents got leaked. I'm sure that'll happen in this situation too. It's going to be handled quietly. Dame is making too much money. He's got too good a team around him, and he's starting fresh. Like, he can't have this. Not when the Twitter is already saying he's got hoes on courtside at preseason games to see him.
I mean, of course he does. I mean, he's not Supermax Dame without no host.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Shooting from everywhere.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think that because they were only married for a short amount of time before they were separated, they were together for a long time, why do you think they split up? Do you think that he was kind of living this life of being, you know, a part-time husband, and that was okay when they weren't married, and things might have changed when she got a little bit of leverage? Or what could have happened?
I mean, he's the one that filed for divorce, though.
Yeah.
So I do want to clarify that piece. It's possible that maybe they had a relationship that was working prior to the marriage, and then once they got married, one of them switched up. Something changed. The expectations were different. Maybe all the things that she describes are true. I don't know. But maybe she was okay with it before they got married, and then once she got a ring and you know, had the big wedding and everything, she was like, nah, you got to switch up. And he was like, why would I change now just because we got married? This has been working for the last decade. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either, man. Thoughts and prayers to them and their family. And, yeah, good luck in Milwaukee, Dave. I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you still got a couple years left in your prime. He said he's going to be doing this till he's 38. I mean, that's good. That's a good goal. But, like, it's not really realistic, man, especially when you're injured every other year.
Yeah, not after the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Prior to that, he was good. But the last couple of years after the COVID bubble, he's getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they do have a prenup. I would assume that they do, but... another thing about this, I heard that he was trying to tell her that she could know, you know, he's trying to get her to change her name back to her maiden name and not carry the Lillard name, man.
As he should.
You know, we talk about Larsa Pippen, and you know she's supposedly engaged to Michael Jordan's son, and we talked about her holding on to the last name Pippen for years, and the possibility of her being Pippen Jordan as she's collects.
That's crazy. That would be so nasty. Oh, my God.
Pippen Jordan last names. You know, she's collecting these great basketball player last names like Thanos. What do you think about Dame asking his wife to, you know, give his name back? Do you think that's appropriate, or is he being a little bit too petty?
It's appropriate. They were married for 2 years, separated for one of those 2 years. What does she need the name for?
Unity.
She's about to get a bag. She's about to get a bag. All right, the kids will have his name. She can take back her name and then move on with the rest of her life. Go find somebody that loves you and wants a sugar mama. I don't know. But, like, no. That's a different circumstance because Larsa was with Scotty for, like, 20 years. This was 2 years married.
But they were together for, like, over a decade.
And she didn't. And that whole decade, she ain't have his name.
Yeah, that's true. But they do have multiple. They have 3 kids that share the last name Lillard. That is his legacy, and she's going to be raising those. They're young kids. They're still like, you know, I think they're like all under like 6 years old. They're actually pretty young,
they're
right?
all under like 5, 6.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it's a little bit messed up. I feel like if you get to that level of petty in your divorce settlement, then. I don't know.
Wait a second.
Obviously should have never got married. But hey, to ask for your name back, like, that's crazy.
From the man that says you would love there to be like a time limit on marriages, you imagine there is a time limit afterwards, that 5 years or whatever the window is. She gets to keep your name forever?
If we have kids together, especially multiple kids, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, especially if we were together for that long. I don't know. Like, I feel like I understand he's really brand oriented, and that's why she mentioned that, because they know that's valuable to him.
Yeah,
his name is everything. But you know, when we talk about Larsa Pippen, like, she's on a housewife show, and there is a way to capitalize off of that.
Yo, Nat said Bryan sounds like Dame's publicist. Listen, that's my guy. I'm a Bucks fan now because of Dame. Like, listen, that is my favorite player in the league. I stand by him until I hear something that is outrageous or atrocious, and I don't know. I mean, 2 years. 2 years ain't long enough for me.
You stand by him throughout all his rap projects, so you are loyal.
They've been consistently getting better.
Wow. Anyway,
and he's finally cursing in them, which makes it way better.
Finally, that's crazy. I think it's a little bit nuts to like ask for your name back. I don't know, Troy. What's your take on that, man?
I think it's appropriate. Like, I think he has every right to ask for it back, but I think she can also say no, and, you know, you just got to deal with it.
True.
And, you know, whatever she says, ball's in her court, and whatever happens, happens.
Dang, balls in her court. Yeah, she's going to have balls in her court when she get that bag, all right.
Damn, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit petty, but, you know, as you said, divorce brings out the worst in people. They're all trying to, like, you know, make out on the better side of things. I feel like for Dame, he obviously has more to lose. financially. But hey, if that's the primary caretaker of his kids, I hope they, maintain their relationship while he actually goes to reach his goals in the NBA.
I pray he gets a ring. I do.
Yeah, he needs one. The one ring he had is gone. But hey, he'll get a better one. This one woman, she was upset after she got married or had her wedding ceremony with her with her husband, because they had an agreement, and she wasn't going to take his last name. But they, her husband pushed for them to actually sign the wedding certificate in front of their friends and family during the wedding ceremony. And during the wedding ceremony, this man, he pulled a fast one over his future wife. He covered the paper with a part of his hand, so he actually wrote in his last name on the documentation. Now, they spoke about this beforehand, and she said, for 6 years, I believed Fred and I were on the same page about what we wanted from one another and our future. We agreed, as in, he's made the point as well. We didn't want children ever, and I made it clear before and during wedding planning that I wasn't changing my last name ever. She said that her now husband pushed for her to have a very public ceremony where they could sign the marriage license in front of everyone. She said, he went behind my back and purposefully filled it out so I would be taking his last name. She fucking trusted him. So she never thought once that in any world that she would have to review what he filled out or to even review the license when they had it in hand. Now, months later, she's thinking about leaving this man. What did you take from this? This is something that they agreed upon. He used the opportunity of the public setting he pushed for to go behind her back, to force his last name onto her. What did you think about that? Because I think it's pretty psycho.
Yeah, I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool at all. And it's really deceptive, especially if they had multiple conversations saying, listen, we're never going to have kids, and I'm not taking your last name because I'm the last one in my family with this name. For him to do that, it's a violation of their relationship and the trust. It's not cool. Not cool at all. I don't know if she should necessarily get a divorce over that, but I think they need to have counseling and a serious conversation. And they've been together 6 years, and then he does that, right in front of her face. The comments were really disturbed as well, and a lot of them were saying this could be the start of a pattern. A lot of people were saying once he gets married, people show their true selves, and I feel like this is a sign of someone who will say what they need to say to get you in a certain place and then switch up on you. I feel like in order to be married to someone, you have to be able to trust the person you're with, and this type of betrayal in front of all your friends and family that ruined the whole day you spent thousands of dollars planning for. It's just do you really want to live the rest of your life with this person after they did something that against what you guys agreed upon that was really important to you? I think it was a violation, and I would consider leaving the situation as well. I think if I was her, I'd run for the hills. I don't know, man. Troy, what would you do?
No, I think that is definitely not cool, and I would understand if they're like, hey, you know what, that's a pretty big red flag, especially on your wedding day, and you'd be like, hey, you know what, this probably won't work if you can't trust your partner on the first day.
Yeah. They said that she didn't want to cause a scene, and she pretended to sign the documents, lamenting that her big day is ruined and her lover is all about tradition now and how it's his right to have a wife with his last name. The besieged bride concluded that her post by saying that she feels manipulated, and they wasted their guests' time, the family's money, and now their whole future together.
Oh, the family paid for the wedding. Damn. So it's still a waste of money and effort and time. Weddings take a lot of planning, a lot of stress goes behind it, just to kind of sabotage it on something that the person you're marrying, said was important to them, especially if you agreed to not have kids. What is he going to turn around and try to,
knock you up? Like,
where does it end? So I think I would have a real problem with this. I think it is important to have these conversations before you make that permanent lifetime decision. And this would be a real red flag. I don't know. Do you think it's common for people to get married and switch up? I mean, we just talked about Dame Lillard, someone who he was with since before he was famous and decided to have kids, years after his NBA career was successful. It's not like they had kids super early on. It seemed like, like a forever type of thing. Yeah. Like, do you think this it's common once people get married that things shift dramatically?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not at that point, so I don't know yet. Hopefully, I don't experience any major shifts like that.
Yeah.
But this is before they even got married. Like, he planned this.
Well, this is at the wedding.
Yeah, but he had to have planned this. It had to be like a situation where he thought about, how am I going to do this so that I can deceive her and hide the fact that I put my last name in here. Like, he clearly had been biding his time and planning this out and waiting for the ultimate deception.
Yeah, especially if he pushed for the public setting to sign the certificate.
Exactly.
He
probably knew her and her personality that she wouldn't blow the shit up right there.
Yeah, it's like a really vulnerable position, like it's just like trying to really have the most peer pressure you could have on the situation and never have a conversation beforehand. I think that's terrible. I would never want to be put in that position, and I would never put anyone I'm trying to like do a lifetime partnership in that position. I feel like that's some real Jada Pinkett type of behavior.
Yes, it is.
Oh man, I wonder what she's gonna end up doing. I wish sometimes we get follow-ups on these. You think so?
Yeah, she's gonna leave him because clearly the name stuff was important, and they're not gonna have kids. So the only thing tying them together is their relationship.
Yeah,
and the life that they wanted to have together, their future, and that's gonna be on rocky ground for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the full story. I'm sure she could be benefiting from other things. You know what I mean? There's always the financial end of things. And this one man didn't have the conversation with his fiance before he proposed. But this 29-year-old man, he decided to ask his 27-year-old fiance for a prenup a few months after proposing the big question in Italy. And now he's wondering if he was wrong. He said ever since we returned home, she's been absolutely obsessed with planning every single detail of their wedding, sometimes to the extent of calling me at work to confirm colors of certain styles of decor pieces. He explained that he works for a well-known tech company that pays well, while she works in retail, but he claims he doesn't mind financially supporting her. She says she plans on staying married forever when he brought up the prenup, and he responded that it would just make him feel more comfortable if in that the prenup was just a precaution. She was really upset. She questioned if he even trusted her, and he said, I explained that it had nothing to do with trust. It was simply about having it in the event something were to happen. She snapped, saying that I was being unreasonable, and if I didn't trust her, just say so. He says, a prenup makes me feel more comfortable. If you don't want to sign one, then fine, but I can't get married without it. She left the house. She was upset, and he says he's been texting and calling her since she left. The only sort of contact he's received was a message from her mom explaining that she would be staying with her until things cooled down.
I mean, if they never discussed it when they were dating, then I can understand that reaction. If they discussed it and then after they got engaged, she was like, oh, you were serious or something? Like, I've been told you.
It seems like they didn't have the conversation until afterwards.
It does seem like that based on what they're saying. But yeah. I also think that from what is in this article, he didn't do a great job explaining a prenup. Everybody thinks a prenup is just one-sided. And that's not the case. It's for both sides to protect both individuals so that, God forbid, something happens in the relationship, we get a divorce. You're not left out in the wind because I can afford like a super expensive divorce lawyer and you can afford Joe Schmo off the street. Like, that's why it's there. So I don't know. This is unfortunate because it seems like this is another one. They're not going to make it. Maybe he wasn't transparent before. There's a lot of things that you're supposed to at least discuss, not in depth prior to the engagement, but you have to at least make each other aware. You know, I don't know.
I mean, I think you should discuss everything in depth if you're gonna be engaged. Personally, I mean, why not? Like, why not have the conversation, see where the other person stands, especially if you have a strong stance. I'm not going to do this without this. You have to let someone know before you take them to Italy and propose and make a big deal. You wait a few months to have that conversation, and if it's a deal breaker, he's wrong for that. And I understand, you know, her being upset in that moment. I don't think there's anything he could have explained better. I think it was more of the timing.
Maybe not.
You know, because some people do think, oh, marriage, this is forever, like a prenup, like why even think about that? Because that's negative. And I get that point of view, but I think, you know, obviously, we've talked about this in the past, and I do think it is any type of contract you sign with in any type of situation, you should have predetermined conditions.
Yeah.
And we see with, you know, Will Smith and what he's dealing with right now.
That's his choice. He could take the L and give her half his shit, and he'd be just fine.
Bro, this is what she's saying about him and doing to him while they're still married. Imagine if that was his real public enemy. Like, what damage she could do for real. He's probably in fear. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I do think that this guy was wrong in the timing of it. But I do think the idea of a prenup obviously is important, especially if, you know, there is a big disparity in where you guys are coming from financially. I don't know, but I don't know. Troy, what did you take from this story? Do you think he was wrong for the timing, or do you think that, you know, they weren't married yet, so it is what it is?
I think the timing needs to be better because I think that is the root of the issue. If you have this conversation, even if you just hint at it or something, you know, you kind of have an idea. I think the timing, you know, you can scare your partner away, or it can set off a bunch of triggers or red flags or something. I think you should probably be aware of that, and the timing, I think, would solve all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. Maybe along with the engagement ring, you should be able to give like a card and have, you know, your terms in the card. Just do it.
Terms and conditions? Yeah. The fine print? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, just have the you know, prenup, you know, just to have a taste of it.
When do they have to read it, though? Do they read it before you put the ring on their finger or afterwards? Because it would have to be before, right?
I don't know. I'll have to put those conditions. Oh, check here if you want to accept this ring. If you agree to these terms.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I think you should agree to terms beforehand because we discussed the divorce rate is way over 50%. So more times than not, these things fail. So I feel like it's good to decide if things go wrong, how are we going to handle this, you know? And yeah, MJ's prenup is one of the best. And even in his prenup, it evolves after 10 years. You know, I was reading that Melania Trump renegotiated her prenup, you know, recently. So, you know, these things are living documents. It's not totally permanent, but, you know, the institution of marriage, the idea of that legally is supposed to be permanent. But yeah, I feel like if you're going to have a hard stance on this, like, you know, signing a prenup, whether or not you want children, where you want to live, you know, your expectations on life, because you're going to be tied to this person financially, you know, knowing if someone has a fucking criminal record, if they're like a sex offender, all these things need to be disclosed.
Those are the basic, super basics. You got to learn that in the first like few months, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Poor people. Poor people.
Poor people don't like prenups.
Damn.
Oh man, but yeah, shout out to them. I wonder if they're gonna make it through. I do think it's important to have these conversations. I don't understand how you could do this giant proposal in Italy and spend this money on this ring and not know, but I feel like it's a little bit manipulative. You glitz them, you talk about these big plans and then you drop it on them after they already committed to the idea. He knew she probably wasn't down with this shit, and he's trying to use his leverage. But hey, when you get married, you lose a lot of leverage. Look at Damian Lillard.
Exactly.
Fighting for his brand image.
Not necessarily
He didn't even curse
situation.
in his rap music. Like, this man is squeaky clean. Like, he's not the type of guy to deal with no conflict like that.
Yeah.
So, they'll use it against you, on both sides.
Indeed.
So you got to protect yourselves. I don't know. This one divorce lawyer, he was saying why it's a mistake to get married when you're in your 20s. He says people get married. People that get married for the first time when they're 30, they're further along in their career. Perhaps they have some money. They're more mature. They're ready to have a long-term committed relationship. Couples who are married in their 20s are 50% more likely to get a divorce than those who wait until they're older. This study in 2016 by Psychology Today, and they noted the best age to get married is between 28 and 32. Now, you just turned 32, right, Brian? So
that's right.
I think we're at the end of that window.
Fine with me. I can't live my life on other people's terms, man. I always think, because for my job, I've talked to a lot of different engineers that are maybe in their early to mid 20s, and they get married young. They really do. And to me, it's always surprising. But at the same time, if you want to be with that person for the rest of your life, then who am I to say, like, it's too soon to get married? Yeah. Would it be me? No. But hey, everybody's got their life to live. Everybody's got their journey. I would love to know if there's like hard data saying that, like, for sure. Like this study is from 2016, so it's a little bit older, and it's from what areas does it cover? I don't remember. I remember looking at it before, but I would just need more comprehensive data.
I mean, to me, this data just proves what we already know. Like, speaking, from your own experience.
True.
In our 20s, we weren't nearly as established. I know you were working on your master's degree. I was getting solidified personally in my career. I feel like at this point in my life, I could consider it a lot more than I couldn't imagine getting married in my 20s, but a lot of people do, especially in other parts of the country and the world, of course. Like, people be getting married as teenagers some places, but even in like our hometown in South Jersey, like, people get married like right after high school and stuff.
They having kids in high school, so.
Yeah, people start early, especially when there's not that much to do in town. But yeah, I think it is good to wait until you're ready. But it's different for everybody, I mean, me in my 20s getting married, that would not have been a good idea. But I was at a space when I was like maybe in college that I envisioned myself getting married in my 20s, and I look back and I laugh. I'm like, come on, Julian, that was not gonna happen.
Things change. Things definitely change. Yeah, I don't think I could have done it either. Just because for me, I'm the type of person, I want to be established and like feel comfortable in everything that I'm trying to do personally before I take that next step. But some people, I mean, if they're moving faster in life, if their financial situation is different, if their maturity level is different, if their relationship that they have with that other person is at that point, hey, I wish you the best of luck. But I do feel like you're missing out on a lot. Like, in your 20s, there's so many different things that you experience, and you really don't start to be comfortable with just yourself until probably in your later 20s. and who you want to be and who you're trying to be and who you might change to become. Like, there's so many different phases in your 20s that happen as you're just growing mentally.
Yeah. You know who's an expert on this? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my God, yeah, that's why he has his cutoff age. He knows the deal.
I don't blame him, because you start dating women who are like, in that time frame, 28 to 32, things change.
They change, but at the same time, I don't know how at like 50 years old he dates people that are 20 years younger like that. I don't get it, but whatever.
I get it. He dates models and likes to go on yachts, and he's not trying to settle down. It's pretty easy to understand for me. I don't know.
From a physical standpoint, sure, but like, there's a reason they all end at like 25 years old.
Because he needs a younger one. They reach that limit.
Younger model, literally.
Shame.
Oh my God! Shout out to Leo DiCaprio. Hopefully he comes out with another banger soon. I haven't seen him in anything recently.
Yeah, he's been laying low.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Shit. We didn't get to our boy Troy's Comic Con shit. Like, we've been doing so much. We went right from Dame Lillard to the marriage shit, but yeah, we've been doing a lot the past few weeks. Mm-hmm. Me and Troy, I'm rocking the Kid Cudi shirt. We went to see our boy Kid Cudi at Terminal 5. Then shortly after, Troy went to join Cudi at Comic Con in New York. Oh shit.
Yeah, no, Comic-Con was amazing. I think these past few days, I'm still recovering. I think over those 2 days, I probably got, like, no lie, maybe 35,000 steps.
Oh, wow.
Just from all the walking to the venue, in the venue, walking home, doing stuff after. Like, it was crazy. But no, me and my friends went, as you can see in the picture, I dressed up as Roxas from this video game Kingdom Hearts. So you can see I have the black cloak, the 2 keyblades. I'm there at my friends as a pirate, someone from Alien, and someone from Star Wars, one of the Star Wars video games as well, Cal Kestis. And, we just had a great time, man. There were a lot of great panels that we got to see. We got to see John Carpenter, director of Halloween and The Thing, some amazing horror movies. He had a little panel. We got to see this black horror movie panel, which is pretty cool. This black horror movie group in Brooklyn had a little panel that, we got to show our support for. The movie The Strangers. They're doing a trilogy coming out next year that we got to see. And just a lot of cool merch, too. A lot of cool vendors there. You have stuff for comic books, stuff for video games. Your favorite anime characters are there and stuff. It's just a great time. I would recommend it to anybody who's even slightly interested. They have something for you. They have something for everybody.
That's dope. Yeah, man, you look dope. How long did it take you to put that costume together?
2 minutes.
Oh, really? He had it ready. He had it ready on deck.
I ordered from Amazon and then, put my black pants on, black shoes. Easy.
Nice. It looked like it was a really good time. I love the pictures. What would you say is like the best costume that you saw when you were there?
Ooh, that's a good one. I saw one like Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. It looked like almost not like a giant furry costume. Like you could see the detail, and I thought that was really cool. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Rocket had that rocket? No.
Oh man.
Oh man. I like some of the obscure ones, so it won't you see tons of Spider-Man, which is really cool. You see all these different variations of like Deadpool.
Or the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Yeah, of course.
Always. Yeah, always. I feel like they're doing it everywhere.
20 of them just all pointing and stuff, and you're like, all right, it's cool. It never gets old, but see Wolverines and stuff. I'm trying to think of my favorite one. Maybe someone from Resident Evil. So I saw someone dressed up as Leon from Resident Evil, which I thought was pretty cool. They had the whole RPD, the fake gun and stuff. It was really cool.
Wow.
That's dope.
Do they have competitions too with the costumes and stuff?
They do. It's one of I think on Friday nights from 10 o'clock they have giant cosplay central where you go to the big room and you vote on which cosplay is the best. Some people go all out. They spend years building these costumes. They spend thousands of dollars trying to get it perfect, and you can really tell the amount of work they put in, and it looks great.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
What's the ratio of men to women? Could you tell, or is it hard to tell when everyone's dressed up?
I mean, there's a lot of women who go there. I would probably say maybe 60-40 men. But
Really?
I mean, yeah.
I would expect it was at least like.
Tried to tell you.
I would
Tried to
expect like
tell you.
85%
No, dude,
men.
No.
it's not. I'm trying
No.
to tell you. Women are closet nerds.
Wow.
They really are. It's
That's
nuts.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. And were there a lot of black people or not really?
There were a few, yeah. I mean, it's in New York, so you definitely,
Yeah.
we're out there for sure. I mean, it's not like a crazy amount, but there's definitely a lot of black people there who you'll see, and they all look great.
That's awesome, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Sometime I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I
we
definitely
gotta go and shoot some content. Do some interviews. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
Comicon and SneakerCon are both on my list of like conferences to go to.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even. SneakerCon, does Complex do that?
No, they
something separate.
They it's like a traveling sneaker one. I know they do it in Atlantic City. They've had it at like one of the places in Newark too. They, definitely NYC, obviously, but yeah, it's a traveling sneaker convention.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. Yeah. Your outfit looked really cool. A lot of the pics you shared looked cool. You were there for 2 days, right?
2 days, yeah. Almost went the third day. Shannon's parents, my fiance's parents, they had extra tickets on Saturday, and our boy Kid Cudi was there on Saturday. But I was just so exhausted. It was raining, and I was like, I'm not going to the city again. As much as I would love to, I was beat.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, I feel you too, man. What did you think about Cudi? We saw him at Terminal 5.
It was a good show overall, and I don't want to say anything negative. I thought, he played a lot of songs that I haven't heard him play live, like Reborn and a few others, and he put on a great show. I wish it wasn't as much Speeding Bullet to Heaven because I don't really like that album, but I'm happy that he's in a good mental place where he can perform these songs that he put his heart and soul into, and he felt good. He's giving out Xboxes and like hoodies and all this cool merch.
He
and
gave
stuff.
out Xboxes at the concert.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that was cool.
And nobody threw anything at him.
Nope.
Not when you're giving out Xboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because when we saw him last year, he was not really performing. He was smoking, and he wasn't as into it. And it was like, an arena show at Barclays, and this was at a smaller, intimate thing. You could tell, like, yeah, because I know for Speeding Bullet to Heaven, like, he doesn't even like to perform those songs because he was in such a dark space. So you're right, like, that's probably the first time he performed that in a long time. So
Wow.
It's good to see him in a better space. We had a great time. So shout out to Kid Cudi.
Nice.
And shout out to Comic-Con. We definitely need to go to more events. Like 2024, I think we're going to definitely have some fun events on the calendar.
Yeah, we got to take advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
What about your Daniel Caesar concert?
Oh, man, Daniel Caesar. Shout out to Daniel Caesar, man. Madison Square Garden. Speaking of ratio, it was definitely 70% women there. Yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, man, he killed it. Did a really nice set. Brought out her to do best part. Brought out a couple other people featured on the album. Sounded great, man. It was a great vibes, man. Just shout out to him. Yeah, definitely a great way to end. Oh, I have one more concert. I might go to a couple more this year, but the last concert I have tickets to is to Uzi Vert finally in November. So fingers crossed. But I think I'm pretty much done. What about you? Do you have any more concerts this year?
Just Fab and Jeezy in Philadelphia. I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be my first time seeing Jeezy. I've seen Fab before. I just don't remember when, to be honest. But
Well, it was Roots Picnic before you passed out.
yes, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. I'm wondering if he was at Def Jam too.
He popped out at during Pusha T's set too, and Something in the Water.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right. Yeah.
He just be popping out, please. Freddie versus Jason. Are they doing like the Halloween shit?
I don't know. It's not until November, so it's like a week, maybe a little bit more than a week after Halloween. So,
yeah,
probably not. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Jeezy. It'll be my first time ever seeing him, and it should be a really nice duo concert.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Troy, you got a couple more coming up, right?
I do. This Friday, I'm seeing this Australian rapper, Genesis Owusu, in Brooklyn, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't seen him. Yet, but it's going to be one of those small venue shows, which I love. And then Danny Brown just announced his new album coming out in a few months, and he's going. I think he'll be in New York in December. I think I'm going to try and get tickets for that as well. That'll be my second time seeing Danny Brown this year, but I'm looking forward to that as well.
Oh, nice. That's dope. Shout out to Danny Brown. Yeah, I forgot about him. He's still doing his thing. Got his cult fan base. Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm excited for the rest of the year. Things are definitely, shifting. We got the NBA coming back next week. Man, I'm excited. But not as excited as this one woman who married herself in Mexico. And she spent almost $5,000, man, to marry herself. And this was 1 year after this woman proposed to herself. So this was a calculated thing, man.
Interesting.
Is this taking self-love too far?
I mean, listen, we've seen people fall in love with airplanes, sex dolls, AI. What's wrong with falling in love with yourself? What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
I support that more than the other things I just mentioned.
Yeah, this woman, Andrea Johnson, she's from Maryland. She says, I love myself, and I would love to be the person married to me.
Wow.
So, yes, she married herself in a private ceremony in Tulum, Mexico, on her 39th birthday on May 1st.
Wow. Congrats to her.
Yes, Johnson's big day, which reportedly cost her approximately $4,900, came just a few months after she proposed to herself on Valentine's Day. That proposing to yourself is one thing. On Valentine's Day, that's some real sad shit, bro.
Yeah, she is a little bit lonely. She's a beautiful young lady, though.
Yeah, she said after popping the question, she said yes to a radiant ring, which came just at the price tag of under $40.
Smart. She is a bargain hunter.
Do you really love yourself if you only spend $38 on your wedding ring?
I mean, she's not going to judge herself for it. So I guess so. It's like, listen, it looks nice, and it lets people know I'm taken.
She said although the day before she actually got nervous and she has no idea why. Did she think she was going to be rejected at the altar?
Imagine she said no. No, I can't do this. I'm falling for someone else.
Yeah, when she got married to herself, do you think that she was like dressed her hand up like as a little groom and like put a little tux on it?
That would be sick. People in the comments were throwing shade at her. They were like, listen, have you changed your medication?
But her own coworkers turned on her. She said there were a lot of comments made to her and behind her back about her being pathetic, crazy, lonely, starved for attention, and a whole slew of other things. She said some employees anonymously reported her to the HR department and initiated an investigation at work around her mental stability.
That's a lot of hate.
I have a question though. Why do her coworkers know about this? I mean, if someone was your coworker and they were talking about marrying themselves for months, would you not report it to someone? Because I think I would.
I mean, if they follow her on social media, but I think they need to mind their own business. If she's happy, she's happy. I don't like this. I don't like that hate that they were giving her. Snitching to HR because she decided to marry herself? That's crazy.
Listen, if you decide to marry yourself, keep that shit to yourself. Don't tell me. Because if you tell me, I'm calling the cops. I feel threatened. Oh, man. She's only 39 and she's already given up. Or maybe she just found a new layer of self-love that I can't fathom. Do you see?
Maybe she's asexual. That's the sexual identity discrimination that they're doing. And I hope she gets a bag. I'm serious. Listen, we got all these identities and genders and spectrums and things like that. She can love herself enough to propose to herself and get married and be asexual.
Yeah, I don't know how she identifies sexually. I would assume it would be asexual, but I think she's just crazy. I don't know, Troy. What do you think about marrying yourself?
I think it's kind of wild up there with some of those other people, people marrying trees and stuff like that. I'm not really for it, but do whatever makes you happy. I don't really know. Who am I to impact your life? Do what you want to do. Just stay away from me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like if you're comparing your decisions to people who marry inanimate objects and trees, then you already know you're down a path that's not not the best.
Listen, she said, being married to myself has taught me many things. I've learned that I cannot bring anything to a relationship if I cannot love myself. I've also learned that self-love isn't just bubble baths and massages. And now, I put my relationship with myself above everything and work on it constantly.
You can do all of those things without having a ceremony and dressing up and proposing to yourself. What the fuck is that?
You could say the same thing about real weddings, though.
I know. Preach.
I walked right into that one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is weird. I mean, I hope it makes her happy. If my family member said this, I feel like I would be supportive, but I would definitely, I'd definitely talk behind their back. I'd feel embarrassed, honestly. I wouldn't want to explain it. I'd be like, that's on them. But some people, being married to another person isn't for them. I don't feel like that means you should marry your fucking self. That's kind of ridiculous. I feel like people just get married to somebody else to have the ceremony and, for the glitz and glam. So in that sense, it makes sense craving that. I feel like women are conditioned to want that for themselves. Society says, for the day you'll get married from the time they're kids. So they feel like they have to accomplish that. So if this helps her fulfill that void, that's great, but I just don't think it's a sustainable way to be. Is she going to wear a ring from now on? Is she just going to live this lifestyle? That's kind of really sad. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to be more open and not judge people as much.
That's good.
We've talked about a lot of crazy things. I think this is probably one of it's a little less crazy.
Yeah. We're a bit desensitized at this point.
Yeah. I wish her happiness.
Yeah. Oh man, that's some weird shit. I mean, hey, I guess it's better than being single and dating someone and finding out they're actually getting married to somebody else. This one woman, Ellen Smith from Dallas, Texas, she went on TikTok to let everybody know her man she's been dating for 6 weeks is actually engaged to another woman.
Oh boy.
You know how she found out? She found his wedding website. Oh my gosh. She posted a TikTok saying, if you're having a bad day, just remember you could have accidentally found the wedding website of the man you've been seeing for 6 weeks on Google. Oh my God.
She probably just Googled his name and it came up.
This man didn't even try to hide it.
She was like the second link to come up.
Right under his LinkedIn profile on Facebook. It's like
man.
Wedding registry. But a lot of people in the comments, they can relate. Someone said, I was talking to a guy who told me he was going home for a wedding. It was his wedding. One added, how about finding the wedding website of a man you've been dating for 6 years? This happened to me. I was trying to find his new LinkedIn and saw he was getting married in Mexico. So I guess this is a common occurrence, man. What do you think about going to TikTok and, after, dating for 6 weeks? I'm sure she's not that heartbroken. I mean, she got a lot of likes and now she has a cool story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, listen. It happens. Sometimes you get two-timed. And she's lucky she found out now and not after he already had gotten married, had kids, and all the rest. Imagine if they kept the relationship going like this other person commented for 6 years. That would be nuts.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's crazy. If you get married and you got a wedding website and you live in a double life, you gotta be better than that, bro.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
That's nasty. That's nasty behavior. You're begging to get caught.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Not good, man. This one man, he wasn't totally begging to get caught because his wife found out he was cheating on Google Maps, This Brazilian woman, she says she caught her boyfriend cheating on her using Google Street View. She says she recently noticed a Google car going past her house taking photos for a Street View service. Soon after, she decided to go on the website to see what route the car took away from her house. But while virtually tracking the vehicle, Lima noticed her boyfriend in a Street View snap riding a motorcycle with a woman on the back.
That's crazy. That's really crazy. And I didn't know that when they're recording the video, that's like real time. That's getting uploaded like right then and there. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it's even crazier that the woman on the back of the motorcycle was her best friend, yo.
Oh man, it'd be the ones that you think got you back. That's crazy.
She said she was devastated when she found this out. I mean, what are the chances that the two people closest to you, and the way you find out is fucking Google Maps? I mean, that's a little suspicious in itself to me. But hey,
this man was laying on the bench with his head in her best friend's lap, and they was chilling.
Google is a snitch, man. We talked about the Ring cameras. I never thought about, Google Street View.
I don't use it because it takes forever to load, but I mean, that's nuts. This seems kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I don't know anymore with some of this social media stuff, but that sounds like a crazy story for it to be able to be posted real time from the vehicle. Yeah,
I mean, hey, if you have that type of evidence, hey, I was meant to be caught. Yeah. But that's just God's will. That's just the universe. Like, I don't know. I feel like she was probably trying to find him cheating, especially with her best friend. How she not know? And this is the way she found out.
Not only that, you see the Google car go past, and you're like, let me just continue to follow this car on Google View. Ain't that like weird? Like, what are you doing where you got that much time to just be like, oh, I see the Google View car. Let me just follow where it's going. It's your neighborhood. You live there or you're around there regularly. You know what it's looking at.
Yeah. I mean, she is in Brazil. It's Latin America. Culturally, Latin American women have a reputation.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not alienate our fan base.
Fan base.
Listen, make sure y'all follow and subscribe.
Yes. And you were just in Colombia. I'm just saying it's not super surprising, but hey, I mean, it's better to know than to not know. Finding out on Google Street View is insane though.
The friend was a little thicky. She was kind of fat.
Damn, yo, that's terrible. That's terrible. But yeah, being it's hard being in relationships, being single. People run to TikTok with everything, and I think the last thing we could talk about today is this one TikTok video that this woman, she went out on a first date with a guy, and this bitch ate 48 oysters.
That's crazy.
On the date.
She had to get sick after that.
Oh, man. Crazy. It's gross, yo. She put up a whole TikTok. It's like 2 minutes long of her slurping down 48 oysters, man. This Atlanta woman, she was ridiculed online after posting a TikTok of her downing 48 oysters, followed by a crab cake and red potato entree while on a date with a man. The man supposedly only had one drink, and his impression was no food would be ordered, only to see her selfishly down dish after dish. This hungry bitch. He reportedly excused himself to use the restroom before the meals end, and then he just left the rendezvous, allegedly leaving her with a $184 tab. You know, she also like shared some screenshots of the text between them, you know, and he had said, you know, he's like, I offered to take you out for drinks and you ordered all that food. You know, he did offer, he was like, I can cash app you the total for the drinks. That's it. But yeah, a lot of people went after her ass for doing this. I know we've talked about this.
So you could see her hand in the picture and you know what time it was for her. She was hungry hippo, and like, listen, she said when the fourth plate came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a fuck. I had to. It was so good.
That's crazy. Do you blame him for leaving?
No. 48 oysters is nuts.
Followed by a crab cake and red potato entree, bro.
No,
She was
anytime I've ordered oysters, it'll be me and Nat, and we'll get 12. And it'll be like an assortment of different ones, but 48 is crazy. Her stomach, no, that's insane.
Yeah, and they say oysters are an aphrodisiac, but that would turn me all the way off seeing someone eat that much.
That's crazy. Like, and then she had the nerve to eat more after that. A whole entree and a crab cake. Like, no.
Bro, mind you, the whole time she's literally recording herself eating this, so he's just there watching her do this.
It's nasty behavior.
Do you think that you think this is a regular thing for her, and do you think that this is, you know, commonplace? Because I don't know, like we've talked about a lot of people like filming and recording their dates on TikTok and, you know, getting flamed for it afterwards for bad etiquette and behavior. Do you think that she knew she was going to get this attention? Because she was recording from even before she walked in the restaurant.
I don't know what she wanted, but people need to learn how to live in reality and also treat other people the way they want to be treated. Because imagine if she asked him out to drinks and he ordered 48 oysters and a appetizer and an entree and she had a $200 bill to pay because she asked him out. That's nuts.
Yeah.
It's insane. People be violating for no reason, and that's why your ass got to pay $200 for that fat ass meal, and you're gonna pay when you go to the bathroom too.
I don't know. I feel like she's just used to doing shit like this because it's weird, especially to be recording
48 oysters.
Yeah, that's just the beginning. She had more and more drinks. I mean, that's insane.
She's lucky she didn't get seafood poisoning. I'm serious. Like that's.
Listen, I mean, she seemed to really enjoy herself a little bit too much. She called him a broke boy for walking away.
No, he's smart for leaving your fat ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he walked away from this. I don't know how I would have handled this situation. But, I mean, I've had dates where, I mean, Atlanta's different than New York. I mean, I've had regular dates that have costed more than this, you know. But it wasn't anything abnormal like that.
On a first date, though?
Yeah, I have.
Oh.
I've been stuck with some bills, but I'm like, oh, I'll eat it. It's fine. Yeah. I don't try to do that on the regular, but it's happened to me a handful of times.
I feel you.
You know, I don't know. What's the most you've ever spent on a first date? I know it's been a long time since you had one.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'd probably say like maybe $150, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I've definitely spent over 200. I'm not even gonna get into details. I'm gonna start saying a lot of things, but yeah, things get expensive. You take someone out to eat, and then you go out for drinks after. You pay for Ubers, or you go to an event. You know, it's just like if you add up all that stuff, sometimes it's like, oh shit. Especially nowadays. I mean, Atlanta's a little bit different, but $184 in Atlanta, that's like $400 over here.
It's disrespectful.
It's not. It's the truth. It's a lot cheaper down there.
No, I'm saying what she did was disrespectful.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible. Troy, did you read this? What did you take from it?
I was grossed out. I'm very picky, so even eating oysters just skeeves me out. And eating 48, that's disgusting. So I was very disturbed.
Have you had oysters before?
No.
Oh, it's the look and the smell.
Yeah,
for you?
the look, everything about it. I'm not eating that.
That's fair.
I mean, people love
it's
it.
Not
clearly,
for everybody.
Yeah, but it's not for me.
I like them, but
48.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, she should go into like one of those eating contests, like 'cause she got a talent. Yeah, I feel
Nasty.
yeah,
Nasty.
you should not treat a date like an eating contest. That's just disgusting. No. And if you're gonna do that, don't put it on TikTok and don't post it as if you're the person in the right. But I don't think these people care. I feel like they know they might get flamed, but
They want the views. They want the content.
Yeah, yeah, but that's gross. She grossed me out, but it is what it is, man. We have so many things left on here, but you know we're gonna be here for 6 weeks, so we got content coming over the next month up until Thanksgiving.
For sure.
You know, we got the holidays coming up. We got Halloween coming up very soon. So next week we're gonna try to. You know, we always try to get spooky every year. So we're going to have...
This eating one was an early spooky one.
We got a couple other ones that I felt like were a little bit spooky. Like, you know, finding out that your son's not really your son.
And wanting to stay.
It's a bit spooky. Jada Pinkett Smith is, you know, she's a little scary. You know, this new dark femme energy, you know?
Oh my God,
so it's a little bit
name for everything, bro.
I know. I'm like, these tactics have been going on forever. But whatever you want to call it, women's empowerment.
Jada's the queen of dark femininity. She invented that shit.
100%. But, you know, we're definitely going to find a lot more spooky topics for next week.
Yep.
Get in the Halloween spirit. You know, it's the last week of Libra season. We got Scorpio season starting up next week.
We do. That we do. It's going to be a good time. A lot of birthdays coming up for friends and stuff. It's going to be exciting as we get towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of great stuff coming to end the year, guys. We've got a lot of new subscribers. While we took a break, you know, our content has been doing really well. So thanks, everybody, for your support. We love you all.
Absolutely. Thank you for following, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. All platforms. Make sure that you take a look at some of the content we're posting up every day. Yeah, we're going to be posting up more stuff, you know, throughout the next few weeks. You know, as usual, you know, DM us if you have any feedback from these episodes. You know, leave comments on our videos. You know, we're always looking for people to join in and call in during our live stream as well. For sure. We would love to talk to you about some of the topics coming up. We want to know what you think. Like, are you on the side of Jada in this? Does she have the right to tell her truth regardless of the consequences? What do you think about that? Drake's album, not Palestine and Israel. We'll avoid that one. But, yeah, some of these really dynamic topics.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Let's keep it fun.
Yes.
Let's try to keep it fun. There's a lot of dark things going on in the world. I mean, we'll get into some of the spooky stuff next week, but nothing too spooky, because that would be fucking depressing. I don't know. Are you planning on dressing up this year, bro?
I don't have anything planned right now, but something tells me that my other half is gonna want to do something for Halloween. I don't know. I'm not in the Halloween spirit right now.
I feel you. It's the same thing with you every year.
That's true.
Last
that is
minute,
very true.
Loose ideas, but last minute you pull something together.
Something.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm still upset about Erica, but it's all right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I still have my wolf mask. I didn't get to wear out last year, so I could do that. I don't see myself really going above and beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know, Troy. Are you doing anything for Halloween?
There's a few parties I might stop by at. I know that weekend I'm seeing Jurassic Park with the live orchestra and NJ Pack, which is going to be nice. So I mean,
how does that work? Like they played the movie with, or is it just the soundtrack?
So they have the movie on like a big screen, and they have like the whole band in the pit, and then they're playing like the whole music during the music scenes, and then you get to watch the movie. So
that's pretty cool.
Doing that, then going out after, probably just dressing up as what I wore for Comic Con. Keep it simple.
Nice.
Smart.
Nice.
Those swords are legit, man.
Yeah. Legit like Britney Spears knives. So much happened while we were away, but hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, it's all good. Any last words, bro? Anything to close out Libra season, man?
Just everybody have a good rest of October. Libra gang, you already know the vibes. Let's go. And make sure you take your airborne emergency, get your flu shots, COVID boosters, whatever you want to get out there. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, everybody. Thanks again for joining us today.
Yes, indeed.
Stay tuned for more content. We got a lot more fun stuff coming up. Yeah, and we'll be back next Wednesday. Till next time, peace.